Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Gopal Krishna Goswami Prabhupada Saitya Prakasha Vitircha Charam Kripashari Pati Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschata Vishatani Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnanangana Salakaya Chakshuro Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadama Dati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamala Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sahajatam Sadhananatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakamritamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Visabhano Sayedevi Pranamami Hare Vanchakalpatarobhyascha Vipasindubhya cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna. Just want to get this meaning here. Yes. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today is most auspicious day. We are observing two great personalities in Gaura Lila, the Disappearance Day, Tirubhakti Mahotsav, Srila Rupa Goswami and Gauridas Pandit. So there is a verse. Before we start with Srila Rupa Goswami, would like to say a little bit more of Gauridas Pandit Prabhu. And this verse from Prema Bhakti Chandrika. Who wrote that book? Narottam Das Thakur. There are two books that, yes, Prarthana and Prema Bhakti Chandrika. Two favorite books of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, the spiritual master of who? Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. As Prabhupada says, he is considered to be illiterate, but these are his two favorite books. So this is from the Prema Bhakti Chandrika. Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. When will he, this Sri Rupa, by whom the cherished object of Sri Chaitanya's heart has been established on the surface of the earth, bestow upon me nearness to his feet? And there is a purport or tika by one of our acharyas, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Pad. When by virtue of good fortune will he, this Rupa, the Rupa by whom the cherished object Abhistam of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's heart, Manas, that is Sastra, on the rasa of Bhakti to Srimad Bhagavan, was established, Stapitam, that is expounded on the surface of the earth, bestow upon me nearness to his feet, Swapadantikam, when by the grace of Sri Rupa shall I engage in acts of service to him as his own attendant. So that is the purport. So as mentioned earlier, another great devotee, eternal associate of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gauridas Pandit. His disappearance day today is also being observed. Gauridas Pandit is one of the Dwadasa Gopal. That means one of the 12 main Gopas, cowherd boys, in Krishna Lila. And he is none other than Subal. Subal. Now, in Gaura Lila, he appeared as Gauridas Pandit. And he was very attached to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that when he took sannyas, he knew that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will start to travel. This is the duty. One of the duties of a sannyasi is to preach and travel. Of course, there are two types of sannyasi. One is that of traveling, and one is that also, actually there are four types. Bahudak, Kotichak, Paribracharya, and Paramahamsa. So there is also what we call Kshetra sannyas, like who? Gadadhar Pandit, Kshetra, and Purusam Kshetra. He just wanted, oh, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed him to just stay to worship Tota Gopinath. So, Gauridas Pandit, this is in Ambika Kalna. How many of you have been there? Very famous place. Usually, whenever we go to Mayapur, we will go for yatra, and we will go. That is a nearby train by train. This Ambika Kalna is a very, very amazing place because it is also a holy place, part of the Mayapur Dham. Srila Mayapur. And in this area, there is a deity of Gaurnitai. Now, these Gaurnitai deities, they are manifested from curving. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he manifests, and Lord Nityananda as murtis, deities, and he gave this to Gauridas Pandit so that the feeling of separation will not ultimately give him that intense separation. It's like if you love someone, if you like somebody, you will always have something that will always remind you of that person. It's like for those grihastas, you have children grown up already, you have the shoes that were used by the child when he was young, maybe this size, and whenever you will see those shoes, that will remind you of the child who's already grown up, far away, living away from home. So the pastime goes that, and Gauranitai were there present with the deities of Gauranitai because exactly none different than the physical forms of Gauranitai. The Lord in this Archavigraha form started to walk away. And now, Gauridas Pandit says, then whom I'm going to worship now? But then there are the two brothers, Gauranita is still there, but the deities are walking away. So it says that Gauridas Pandit called them back. So they went back, and then the two personal physical forms of Gauranitai started to walk. And then, because he doesn't want to be separated from the two lords, then he called them back again. And then the two deities started to walk again. So now it goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. He cannot figure out now who are the deities and who are the personal forms, physical forms of Gauranitai. So one of the lessons we can learn from this is that the Archavigraha form of the Lord, it's like here we have Krishna Balaram, Radhesham, Lalita Visakha, Sisi Gauranitai, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, and if you go upstairs in the top floor, on the top floor of our museum, you will see also the Guru Parampara. There is no difference between the Archavigraha form of the Lord and the Lord Himself. So the way how we worship them is that we have to be extra careful. For those of us who are still in the sadhana bhakti, following regulative principles of bhakti yoga, we cannot treat them in a way that we say, oh, I can worship the Lord whenever I want and whatever I want to worship to them. We're following this Pancharatrika Vidhi, worship of the Lord according to the scriptures and given specifically by Narad Muni. Narad Muni, he wrote a book. And also Hari Bhakti Vilas by Sanatan Goswami. And who? Gopal Bhatt? Say? There are two of them, but the other one is considered to be the main author. Nevertheless, we have to be careful. This is if we want to make rapid advancement, because as Prabhupada says also that we worship the Lord, it's like even though we have Radha Shama Sundar, Krishna Balaram here in Vrindavan, we still have to worship them in the mood of Lakshmi Narayan, with awe and reverence. Only when one comes to the platform of spontaneous love for Krishna, Krishna will accept whatever we offer to him. But for now, to be accepted our offering, we have to follow the procedures given by the acharyas, and specifically Srila Prabhupada. Like here in Vrindavan, Prabhupada, he installed personally the deities. And Prabhupada also installed many, many deities all over the world, personally. Some of them 50 years, of course, 50 years. At least 50 years old deities. And for us here in Vrindavan, our temple is like the mother of all the ISKCON temples. Whatever we do here for the worship of the Lord, for the pleasure of the Lord, is like a hallmark. It's like an emblem. It is like the epitome that everyone in the whole world follows. Whatever we do here, especially our deities. Very famous. Wherever you go, as soon as they heard, oh, Krishna Balaram Mandir, immediately what they will think? The deities. And of course, our very, very wonderful temple and the kirtan and everything. So Gauridas Pandit, he understood that there is no difference between the Archa Vigraha, the form of the Lord, which seemingly may be made of stone, marble, wood, or sometimes gems, or even earth, or even in the mind. You remember that story in the Nectar of Devotion? When there is this Sabian Brahmana, you heard that you can worship the Lord within your mind, because ultimately Krishna is present everywhere, but specifically he is within us. And therefore, this South Indian Brahmana, he started to worship Gopal, or Govinda. Within his mind, he cooked some sweet rice, and he wanted to be sure that this is good enough, not too hot for the offering to the Lord. And when he touched within his mind the sweet rice, it was burnt. His finger got burnt because it's still too hot. And Lord Narayan actually was watching what's going on. So he must be very careful. Gauridas Pandit, his intense desire to serve the Lord is so much so that we should follow in his footsteps. Without that intense desire to serve the Lord or being with the Lord, we will not make any advancement in Krishna consciousness. That is our goal. This is the instruction coming from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that we should follow in the footsteps of the Brajavasis, how they serve and how they love Lord Krishna. So now, the servants of the Supreme Lord are infinite, unlimited. Ever think that if I don't serve the Lord's position will be diminished. That I am irreplaceable. No. But there are different hierarchies also in serving the Supreme Lord. Radha Krishna, they have these close associates. Krishna has his own personal servants or associates, and the same with Srimati Radharani. We have what you call the Sakhis, or we're talking from the Srimad Bhagavatam, the 10th canto, the queens of Dwarka. There are also expansions of Lakshmi Devi. Lakshmi Devi is an expansion of Radharani. Now Radharani, she also expanded herself. The servants of Radharani, the friends of Radharani, are none different than Radharani herself. Now, the Sakhis, they are similar or equal in age with Radharani. Around 14, 15 years old, like Lalita, or Visakha, Tungamidya, and Chitralekha. It's like when you go to Siddhamayapur, you'll see them, the Ashtasakis. However, there is another group of assistants directly involved in serving Srimati Radharani, and they are called the Manjaris. Now, the Manjaris are younger by age compared to the Sakhis, or the friends. We call friends. The Manjaris, they are servants also, but of younger age, like 12, 13 years old. And the foremost is who? Rupa Manjari. Now, the Rupa Manjari appeared 500 years ago to assist Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the 6 Goswamis. In our line of disciplic succession, the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya Vaishnavas, specifically the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, most of them are eternal associates of the Supreme Lord. Either they are Sakhas or Sakhis. And the 6 Goswamis, actually, they are Manjaris. Now, the Manjaris, they have special position. And Rupa Goswami is the head. We're talking about this because just to connect how Rupa Goswami is dearmost also to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because as we have recited that verse, Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. When will Srila Rupa Goswami, who is the cherished object of Sri Chaitanya's heart, Rupa Goswami, he is the one deputed specifically by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to write the Bhakti Shastra. Bhakti Shastra. Just like in order for us to understand Bhagavad Gita, whom we have to follow? Arjuna. That's what Prabhupada says, right? In order to understand Bhagavad Gita, we have to follow in the footsteps of Arjuna, by whom he is able to understand and ultimately surrender and follow the instructions coming from Lord Krishna, from the Bhagavad Gita. So if we want to understand Bhagavad Gita, we have to follow Arjuna. Now, if we want to understand the mood and the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whom we have to follow? Rupa Goswami. Because he's the one who understood the mood and the heart of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood is to spread the holy name of the Lord in every town and village. And to develop this compassion to spread to the conditioned souls the mood or the emblem of love of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that it doesn't matter what is the qualification, whether one is qualified or not, it should be given freely. And who is the personality who understood the most of the mood of Rupa Goswami? Srila Prabhupada. He traveled all over the world to spread Krishna consciousness alone. With great struggle and difficulty, he did this. And now, how about those followers of Srila Prabhupada? We should also imbibe the same mood. That's why we are called what? Rupanugas. Rupa means Rupa Goswami, and Anuga means follower, one who follows. So Rupa Nuga is not necessarily mean you are a scholar and you know inside out from front page to the end, and just be a, what do you call this, armchair philosopher. One who understood the mood of Srila Prabhupada, who is the foremost Rupanuga, follower of Srila Rupa Goswami, we should also follow in the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada. Following in the footsteps in Srila Prabhupada means those who are engaged in preaching. And preaching means not just book distribution. The pujaris also are preaching. Deity worship also is preaching. Those who are engaged in Sankirtan, glorifying the Lord in the holy name. It's like here we have 24-hour Kirtan department. They're also preaching. How about our temple? The temple itself is preaching. When they come here and they praise and glorify how beautiful our temple is, this is also preaching. So we have to keep this in mind. Even the one who are cooking for thousands of devotees who come to Vrindavan, and when they taste our special Kichari Prasad, that is also preaching. So that doesn't mean that you also have to travel to preach. You can stay and be here and preaching. Srila Prabhupada's mission, Lord Chaitanya's mission. So Srila Rupa Goswami is very, very attentive in serving the Supreme Lord, but specifically Srimati Radharani in the form of Rupa Manjari. Now these Manjaris, their main purpose is not to be with Krishna. It's like the Sakhis or the eternal girlfriends of Srimati Radharani. They also want Radharani to be close to Krishna, but at the same time, They want to be with Krishna. Yes? Especially in that pastimes of Rasalila dance. But the Manjaris, no, they are satisfied just to serve Radharani. However, sometimes they are more blissful while serving Radha and Krishna than Radha and Krishna themselves. Whenever they will see the arrangement whereby Radha and Krishna will meet Sambhoga, they're very happy, more than ever. And there are other pastimes whereby others are not allowed to be around. In these pastimes, like the Sakas, they don't go to Radhakund, Mother Yasoda, and the Maharaj, they don't go to Radhakund. It's not in their mood to go there. But the Manjaris, they're allowed to be around because of their innocence. So this is the age of innocence. But once you start going to 14 years old, and I experienced this also when I travel, like 14-year-old is a magic age in Krishna consciousness. That will determine whether that boy or girl will be Krishna conscious all throughout. So the Manjaris are like this. I'm going to explain a little bit more or read something for you, the different services. Now, please don't get me wrong. We're just describing this because the occasion is like this. We don't talk like this all the time because to be a Manjari, to be a Sakhi, to be a Sakka is not possible for everyone. Not possible. Because those positions are already been established. You cannot be another Rupa Manjari or Ananga Manjari or Rati Manjari. No. But we can, in the mood, follow in their footsteps. So somehow or another, whatever our position is, will come out. Don't think that right now, oh, Maharaj is talking about Manjaris and Sakis. Maybe I'm a Manjari also. So let me go to Radhakund and ask one of the Babajis there how to become a Manjari or Sakhi. No, this is not our purpose. Our purpose specifically is to, first of all, to be humble, to be obedient, follow the sadhana bhakti, get up early in the morning. How many times we have to say this again and again? Follow the process. Don't go jump. No jump. As Prabhupada says, this process is gradual. You cannot expedite this unless you get special mercy. Still, we have to follow. Even the Paramahamsas, even the Uttama Bhaktas, externally, they show that they are following the process. But internally, their meditation is different. As Ayendra Prabhu says, I'm just going to say this, you can chant the way how I chant, but his consciousness is different. And Prabhupada also is very different. We cannot imitate, but we can follow in the footsteps of Rupa Goswami by following his instructions. Especially the nectar of devotion. Prabhupada says, this is the law book for all the devotees in ISKCON. So we should be familiarizing ourselves and also apply the teachings from nectar of instruction Bhaktira Samrita Sindhu, the summary study is the Nectar of Devotion by Srila Prabhupada. Rupa Goswami, he wrote many books describing the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Ujjala Nilamani, Vidagdha Madhava, Lalita Madhava, many. But we cannot go and read that and forget the Bhagavad Gita. One may say, oh, I'm now in Vrindavan. Let me go to Lloyd Bazaar. I call it Louis Bazaar. You go to Louis Bazaar, and there is a bookstore there that you will find all of these books. And you said, oh, let me read these books. And ultimately, I become, yes, a gopi or a manjari or a cowherd boy. No, this is not possible. It is not possible. The mood of the eternal associates of the Lord is so intense that their desire cannot be moved. There is no such thing as maybe, perhaps, it could be. No. Their love for Radha and Krishna is so intense. It's like, as Raghunath Goswami's mood are that like of etched on the stone. You cannot change it. So let me read something for you. About Rupanuga. Since we're talking about this Rupanuga, according to Srila Prabhupada, to become a Rupanuga, one has to follow the principles enunciated by Rupa Goswami. This includes chanting 16 rounds, observing 4 regulative principles, studying Nectar of Devotion, Upeda Samrita, and accepting Srila Prabhupada's mission as non-different from the Goswamis. As Prabhupada says, in Vrindavan, those who reside in Vrindavan should be like followers of Rupa Goswami. A Goswami means controller of the senses and the mind, specifically. The mind is the connection that we have, the soul, towards material life. Whatever the mind says, it is the connection that the soul has towards the material world. So for now, please don't listen to your mind unless the mind is thinking of Krishna. Or what you're doing is for the pleasure of Krishna and the Vaishnavas. If it says differently, if it's for myself alone, for my own benefit, I should discard that one. Of course, if it's for my own advancement to become Krishna, I will accept. If it doesn't have anything to do with it, no, discard it. So Srila Prabhupada's, he says, this movement is called Rupanuga. Rupanuga means the followers of Srila Rupa Goswami. So the Rupanuga devotees are very dear to Krishna. Lecture, July 4th, 1974 in Honolulu, Hawaii. And he specifically emphasized, which we mentioned earlier, book distribution, temple worship, deity service, prasadam distribution, Harinam Sankirtan. All these are practical Rupanuga activities. So when we do something to serve the Lord, everything that we do here in the temple revolves for the pleasure of the deities. Everything, from fundraising to preaching upstairs, everything. But always remember, we should be very conscious and do it with love and devotion. So maybe in the beginning it's a little bit mechanical. But again, we mentioned this earlier. We have to do it with love and devotion and become mature eventually. Being a Rupanuga means loyalty to the Guru Parampara. Srila Prabhupada's purport in Madhya Lila, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 1, text 208. So our link to Srila Rupa Goswami is Srila Prabhupada. And for those who's been initiated by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they are the link to Prabhupada. And for those who are disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they have disciples also who are giving shelter to others. They are the link to Prabhupada and ultimately to Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami revealed, Aradhyo Bhagavan Rajestanayas Tadhama Vrindavan. Service to Radha Krishna, especially under Radharani's direction, is the ultimate aim. So everything that we do in bhakti is under the supervision of Srila Rupa Goswami, which is ultimately under the supervision of Srimati Radharani. That's why it says that she is the queen of Vrindavan. Nothing happens by chance. We are here under the shelter of Srimati Radharani and also under the permission of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is a Digpal. He is the protector of the holy Dham. Without his mercy, Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu will not get the mercy of the Parampara and ultimately Srimati Radharani. Again, humility and devotional character must be there. So we should study again and again the Upadesamrita, following in the mood of one who wants to be a Rupanuga. Avoid imitation of Rupanuga practices or Raganuga practices. We mentioned that already. Always glorify Rupa Goswami and serve his mission. Rupa Goswami's mission is Prabhupada's mission. And Rupa Goswami's mission or Prabhupada's mission is our Guru Maharaj's mission. According to our Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami, he says that being a Rupanuga means being a Prabhupada Anuga. Srila Prabhupada gave us Rupa Goswami's teachings in a practical way. If we are loyal to his instructions and dedicate to his mission, dedicated to his mission, then we are Rupanugas. From the Vyasa Puja address of 2019. Guru Maharaj's instructions on Rupanuga service. Follow the Bhakti Shastras of Rupa Goswami, chant offenselessly, be fixed in Guru Nistha. This is very important. Guru Nistha means fix. As Guru Maharaj says, don't go outside or don't align yourself outside of Srila Prabhupada's movement. Is very, very important. Do practical devotional service daily. Keep yourself busy. Whenever he calls me, he will ask me, what are you doing? Because he knew that I have this tendency to be lethargic, to be lazy, to be not doing anything. He will ask me, are you keeping yourself busy? Every time, practically. Whenever he'll call me, and then he will say some instructions, what to do. Our concern here, as we were put into that position to be some authorities here in Vrindavan. So our duty is to engage you. And if you are not fully engaged, it is your duty to ask us, is there anything else I can do? Is there anything else that needs to be done? An idle mind is a devil's workshop. So please, 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 Prabhupada says, those who live in Vrindavan, they should do 8 hours of service. Now, that does not include the morning program. Does not include the evening program. And Prabhupada says, come for the morning and evening programs. And yeah, what taking prasad? Well, maybe that is also service. Taking prasad, because after the morning program, well, yeah. See, the heart of the morning program is Srimad Bhagavatam. If you cannot come for the Srimad Bhagavatam, you are greatly diseased. Not physically, but spiritually. We don't have to tell this again and again. It is your duty to come. And I'm very happy that many are coming, but some, Hare Krishna. I don't need to go to the Bhagavatam. Or let me hear online lecture somewhere else. Prabhupada says, if you are not happy with the classes in Krishna Balaram Mandir, then you give the class. Then you give the class. And don't go thinking that I will find Krishna outside of the 4 walls of Krishna Balaram Mandir. Prabhupada says, don't go outside of the 4 walls. We have everyone here. There's no need. Of course, we go out, sometimes go for parikrama. Visit the Radha Krishna stalis, the pastimes, locations. Yes, there are 4 instructions given to Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. If I can still remember, to write Bhakti Sastra, to establish deity worship, to find the lost pastimes, locations of the Supreme Lord's activities, to locate also the lost deities that were established by Vrajanam, the great-grandson of Lord Krishna. And one time he was crying, Rupa Goswami was crying and crying because he was not able to fulfill this instruction. Similarly, we should also cry and feel very, very much in despair if we're not able to follow the instructions of Srila Prabhupada and our Guru Maharaj. If we're not feeling pain, if we're not feeling uncomfortable, then again, something is wrong with us. So, one boy approached Rupa Goswami and he says, Swamiji, what is the problem? Now he was about to say, what is the problem? But he understood, the boy understood. Yes, he told the boy, oh yes, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he told me to follow all of these 4 instructions, and I'm not able to fulfill it, especially the deities that were established by Vrajana, Madan Mohan, Radha Govinda, or Govinda Ji, Gopinath Ji, and Haridev in Govardhan. He says that before one goes parikrama, one should first have darshan of Haridev. Yes? Near where? Manasi Ganga. Manasi Ganga. Actually, the parikrama should start over there, but we usually go to the intersection where you go towards Radhakund and Govardhan. So nevertheless, so this boy asked, I know how to solve your problem. There is a place called Gomatila. And in Gomatila, every day there is this cow, mother cow, who gives milk on top of the hill. So Rupa Goswami went there and he observed, he was waiting, and then ultimately he observed that there was this one cow, a Surabi cow, the Surabi cow. And the cow came and gave milk. The milk disappeared. Somehow or other, it went through the hill. And he figured out that the deity must be there. So when he asked the help of other Brajabasis, they dug not even so deep. Lo and behold, Govindaji appeared. And if you see even right now, the Govindaji Mandir, which was built by the help of Jaiman Singh, yes, is very, very wonderful. And because the Mongols, they were so envious, they chopped off, the upper floors, or yes, upper floors of that temple. And if you go, the pujari, if you have a good connection to the pujari, usually ISKCON devotees, if the pujari saw there's some ISKCON devotees going there, he will show you the cave where Rupa Goswami performed his bhajan and where he found the deity of Govindaji. The original deity of Govindaji is in Rajasthan, in Jaipur. Every day, practically all the residents of Jaipur, it is called Gupta Vrindavan. Every day they will come for Mangalarti, and after work, before going to work, or even before going to work, yes, they will go, and after work, they will go also have darshan of Govindaji. And the king was so much dedicated, being a devotee of Govindaji, he made sure that he will have the first darshan as soon as he woke up. So he constructed his bedroom in such a way that directly he will have darshan of Radha Govinda. Again, the intense desire. So, practical application, yes, we should serve Srila Prabhupada's ISKCON mission without deviation. That's Guru Nistha. Again, our sadhana should be impeccable, should be strict. Not sometimes I want to come, sometimes I don't want to come. Preaching, distribute books, prasadam, teach bhakti. We should not imitate again the Raganuga Bhaktas. We should serve always with simplicity, even up to the point that when we become pure devotees of the Supreme Lord. Meditate on services of Radharani by Srila Rupa Goswami. And also we should hear from advanced devotees. And try to also sing these different bhajans that were composed by the previous acharyas. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu injected the whole of his mercy into the heart of Rupa Goswami. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 9, 1. Specifically, the Rupa Shiksha, we should read that part or section of the Chaitanya Charitamrita to keep us reminded of what are these siddhantas or tattvas that were given to Rupa Goswami, and Rupa Goswami, he expanded more of these teachings into his books. We should be always thinking that we are servants of Rupa Goswami and servants or servant of the servant of the servant of Srila Rupa Goswami. Time is not enough. We can discuss more. It's like the VIHE, they're celebrating Rupa Goswami's Rupotsava. How many days? 3 or 4? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Yes, 4 days, right? 5 days. We should also, of course, every day we celebrate Prabhupada here. Yeah. I will stop here now. I already mentioned like the core or the heart of what is the position of Rupa Goswami and some of Rupa Goswami's or Rupa Manjari's qualities. Yes. I already mentioned you were late. So you have to watch now in YouTube. Okay? I mentioned that first. He is Subal, one of the Dwadas Gopal. Yes. Any other points or question from what we mentioned here? Or anyone would like to give a comment about Rupa Goswami? Saranga Thakur, I wish you can chant that. Shri Rupa Manjari Pata. Was that? Yes. That's a very nice song. I wish we could have sang that, but I'm not as good as like Saranga Thakur to chant that. We could have asked him to chant. Any other points or comments on this? Is it clear? Do we have a little bit of idea to be a Rupanuga, follower of Rupa Goswami? To be a Goswami? Not Goswami means it is not just a title. Even Grihastas, Prabhupada says Grihasta Sannyasi. We've heard of Grihasta Brahmachari. Prabhupada says also Grihasta Sannyasi, because Sannyasi means he's engaged 24 hours in Krishna's service. Srila Rupa Goswami ki, Gauridas Pandit ki, Vidai Gaur Shitanath Vimanande. Hare Krishna. Hari Om Tat Sat.